Hi, Aquarius rising sign. Here is your weekly forecast, and we are starting on the 23rd of February until 1st of March. So you are through the eclipse season, and this eclipse might have hit you hard. So do you let me know in the chat box below, like how did that go for you? What are your take on it? What are your takes on it? But remember, the eclipse is playing out for about a good 18 months, so don't forget that. But the reason why it's important is because this week we have got an eclipse activation. So Mars is going to be reaching the eclipse point at the end of the week and bang on squaring Uranus as well. So you might want to see what is going down with that Mars-Uranus square, but we are going to be talking about that a little bit today. By the way, I did make a Eclipse video, which is available for my members. So if you are curious about it, you might want to check out my membership. Good news is that currently the first month is 50% off. If you would like to check it out, how my teaching style is and so forth, then this is a great opportunity to kind of look at that. But let's get going. The very first stop is, well, you have got a major second house activation going on this week for multiple reasons. Mercury Venus conjunction, Mercury is retrograde, and it's kind of like finding lost money, revisiting the financial offer from late January potentially, or maybe someone has been owing you money and this money is coming back this week. You also have got a Ceres Chiron conjunction happening in your third house, which is healing your voice, basically. It's about knowing that I've got the right to speak. I can speak my own truth. And then, of course, the Mars in the first house, squaring Uranus in your fourth house, which can make you quite restless, actually, or you suddenly decide to move to change your living situation. But let's break it down step by step. Firstly, we have got that North Node and the Sun conjunction happening in your second house. So that is a shift in how you make money. You might find a way to monetize the Pisces and the Gemini scales in your chart because it happens on Gemini dot. So you might start writing, teaching spirituality, certain type of coding, or Mars in your first house can make you very impulsive. So this is also inviting you in a way not to spend money on Uranus stuff, so buying gadgets and so forth, because we might regret it later on. The North Node says to wait a little bit, to get an intuitive hunch. And maybe it's about you healing your poverty wound. Now, that is about the Ceres Chiron conjunction as well as this Sun and North Node conjunction as well. And maybe you have to be looking at what you do for others and then what you receive in return. So, what's my net worth, right? And what's my self-worth like? And how much do I charge for my services? So, it's all something that we might want to be able to kind of think through. Now, Venus making that conjunction to Mercury retrograde, but at the same time, it has got a sextile to Juno as well. And that is in your 12th house. And that's a kind of like a financial move that you have been contemplating on, most likely. And then Juno is now ready to kind of commit to it. You are trying to build a better security system, a better self-worth for you. Or you might be making a financial agreement with someone behind the scenes, or this is about your spiritual values, and maybe you feel like that I have to be reworking my spiritual values if I want to manifest something in the tangible life or in the tangible world, basically. Or maybe you find these very nice, beautiful, hidden ways to manage your resources, and no one has to know about it. So, yes, this could indicate, that we are putting money aside without letting others know, hiding our money, putting money aside, and so forth. Now, I think this Chiron and Ceres conjunction actually is very important. the fact that Ceres has been in the sign of Aries kind of forever, and then now they are making another conjunction, and maybe this is you learning to stand up for yourself, fighting for your opinion. Maybe it's with a sibling, or maybe you are ready to heal a connection with a sibling, like you are ready to have a brave conversation with someone. Or maybe you find that your local community uh, is actually behind you. You just have to be able to kind of have a conversation with them. Or I can imagine that you are ready to take on a courageous project. So I'm going to be writing, I'm going to write out my pain. I'm not going to be allowing anyone to keep me silent anymore. Because you want to be standing up for yourself. Mars is actually in the first house. So this is about speaking up on your behalf. And maybe you are ready to speak up on your behalf in a way with someone at home because Mars is squaring Uranus. You might be bringing the disruptions into the family rather than them being bringing disruptions into yours. It's kind of like you rip up the floorboards, pretty much of your life because you want to go towards a better future. So that's why it gives you that restlessness. You might be rearranging your entire house, for example, at 3 a.m., or you might end up being so restless that you cannot sleep and you are ending up cooking something, baking something, planning the future, and so forth. We've got Niobe and Atlantis entering your second house as well this week. So, like I said, the most active part of your chart is the second house. And this is about you wanting to be proud of your financial independence, for example, or you have got a piece of item that you are proud of. But also at the same time, um, this might be actually Niobe might be asking you to humble yourself when it comes to your bank account. So basically, let's look at what we spend money on. But you can even realize that your wealth is actually like doesn't matter much for me anymore. So there could be that type of feeling as well. Or or with that Atlantis. Atlantis is, it's kind of like the lost knowledge in a way. So it really feels like it's something to do with a lost talent, potentially. So you going back to something that you used to make money out of, but maybe you kind of have forgotten about it or you have abandoned it somehow. Why not? Because you have got this exalted Venus there, and it's still in trine to Jupiter in a way. It's separating, but we can capitalize on a lost talent. Maybe you realize that you have lost a skill, and you want to be revisiting that skill. Or so it's kind of like you looking at your sunken talents. Maybe you look at where your money comes from. So maybe it's an unexpected shift in your assets. Something you thought was lost returns. So this could be a lost item that you find, something that you might have lost a very long time ago. So now the very last thing to mention is the out of bound moon. So, Moon, I hope you have listened to the entire general forecast because I'm giving you these sensitive degrees there. And the reason why that might be important is because you want to be looking at your natal chart where those degrees are. Do you have any planets or angles on it? Because that's going to be the most important aspect for you for the week ahead. So that's why I always recommend listening to the general forecast. But out of bound moon starts in your fourth house. So there is that lightning bolt, not only from Uranus and Mars, but the out of bound moon as well. So something suddenly breaks down. It has to be you have to be repairing it. You make this bold move connected to your living situation. And then maybe you just don't want to be in the house. You can feel restless like that because maybe there are some negative vibes at home. So that's on the 23rd, 24th. And then the 25th, 26th, moon is still out of bound, but in the sign of Gemini. So that's your fifth house. And your inner child starts talking to you. So, ooh, let's have some fun. Let's play games. Let's do a puzzle. Let's do something creative. So, you might be even pushing the boundaries, creatively speaking. And then Outbound Moon finishes its wild journey in the sign of Cancer around Jupiter, which is about you go back to, it could make you very sensitive, for example, at work. Or you might find yourself cooking for coworkers or cleaning up your space, basically, because you want to kind of create an emotional balance in your life. So, and then, when we have got a bit of a sorrow or when we are stressed out, then often we tend to be cleaning up and cooking and all those type of stuff, right? So that's actually highly possible for you this week. But of course, the most important part of your chart, like I said, is the second house. So this is about material gain. This is about through certain type of spirituality and creative endeavors. This second house is telling you that I am allowed to have a dream and I'm allowed to go after my dream. Now, the question is, can I work hard? Because Pisces is not necessarily the most hardworking sign of all. But also, do you understand that some of your dreams might not be realistic? So something might need to be let gone. And I have to be focusing pretty much of a single cause so that you don't get, this vast energy of Pisces is kind of like not getting too scattered. You have to understand what matters to you, what your values are, what my spiritual goals are, and how I can make that happen. Like I said, with that eclipse, you do have got your home environment, your feelings, your emotions being in the center. So we can act out a little bit, we can be more dramatic, and even certain type of childhood memories can be coming back to us. So we might be going down on a memory lane. So, Aquarius, good luck, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.